That shower was amazing.
Hey, it's your girl Shalanda B, and welcome to Shave It on Your Day.
Let me entertain you.
It will all die out. And now I cry for all that is mine. Give me release. Let the waves of
You
time.
guys, so this is my girl, Shireen, and she is a life coach. What is a life coach? What does life coaches talk about? Do they talk or do they listen? Shireen.
So hello, it's Shireen, and thank you, Shalanda, for coming out to Staten Island and meeting with me and speaking with me. It's always a pleasure being in your presence. And a life coach. I don't know if I'm a life coach. She keeps saying I'm a life coach, but
a
I
life
don't
coach.
know if I'm a life coach, right? What I
So-
will say is my background is in social work, right, and working with children and families. And I stopped working in that field like about 7 years ago, and I've just really been committed to creating my vision for the world. And inside of doing that, I've been doing a lot of work on self. So I've been a part of how do you call it? I can't even think of it right now.
Do you do?
I did. It's not a woman's. It was but it was a sister group,
So
right?
it's women's empowerment.
Right, so it was like women's empowerment group, but there's a word that they say for it. I'll get back to it. And then I just kept going on into other like personal and professional like development, personal and professional training development, and inside of what it is that I got from that, I gave back. Right, I
What you
took
would
on
say
coaching.
is you took on training for yourself or something for you to learn for yourself.
Right,
But then
and-
after a while, you started to help others. Would you say that?
Right, so I've always been in the helping others field. If I'm being honest about that, but what I discovered inside of when I stopped working and making a difference for others, that I was always working and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I realized that I wasn't breathing.
Totally get that.
And I wasn't breathing. And so I even got a tattoo. It's in Braille. It's breathe. It's to remind me to breathe. And in my breathing, I participated in women's empowerment groups, and I did my own training and development around personal and professional. So there's things that I knew and there's things that I just didn't know about me. I knew how to take care of others. I didn't know how to take care of me. And once I discovered how to take care of me in turn, yes, I'm giving back and supporting other people on how to take care of themselves. Like just get themselves out of the way so they really get to
Right.
create the life that they want.
I love it. She was like, what am I going to talk about? This is what we're talking about. See how great that is? And that is refreshing. Yes, I know y'all going to be like, oh my God, she is awesome. Because I know I feel like that right now. Because that's what it's all about. Uplifting other people. Not just women, but families. And I think that's just super awesome. So let me ask you another question.
Yes.
Are you a mom?
Yes, I am a mom of a 25-year-old daughter, Kiki. And but it's an empty nest at this point, right? Because she, did college, she moved out on her own, and so I'm an empty nester. And so when later you had actually started it out talking about we were gonna talk about dating, and inside of being an empty nester, I'm at this place in my life where I'm discovering what it means to date. Like I don't know how to date.
What does dating mean? What does dating mean? I am 47 years old and I'm just trying to figure it out.
51.
What is dating? She's 51. She looks like 25. Oh my goodness. But anyway, what does dating mean? Let's talk about dating as a black woman. Or as a woman. So, let's say, it's hard for me too, because me and her was just talking before we started recording, and I was like, we're gonna talk about dating, and she was like, I don't want to talk about dating because like I'm not good at that. I mean, like, who's good at dating? Like, you go on a date, you meet a person, you might not like that person. I'm at the point now, having dinner with someone is like, I don't like the way he chews. I have to find my exit. That's bad, right? And then it's like, what type of guy do you like? Do you want them to be built? Do you want them to be short, tall? Like, what do I like? you know. So that's where I'm at. And my daughter is 27 today.
Yay! Happy birthday!
But you know, it's just it's difficult. And she was like, you know, I don't want to talk about dating because I am not the one to talk about dating. I don't think I'm gonna be a person that's with great advice, but you are. You know how? Because there's someone out there that's thinking the same thing like us. What is out there for us? Do I want to get married again? Do I just want to be like a couple buddy? I don't know. What is it? Couple things in? Whatever. I don't know. But anyway.
Commitment without one?
Commitment without one. Like you want the person to be there, but you don't want to be with the person. Like, do that make sense? No, it does not. It's very confusing. Women, we are confusing. We are confusing the man. The man is saying, what does she want? Does she want to be in a relationship? I'm not sleeping with you. You're not going to be my man. You're not going to be this, but I'm just sleep with you, but I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep with you. I do want to sleep with you. I don't want to sleep with you. I do like you, but I don't like you. I don't want to fall in love. I'm not falling in love. I just need some space.
All of that.
It is so confusing. It's at the point where you start to confuse yourself. I don't want to be touched. I do want to be touched. I'm cute. Leave me alone. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. And I think it's part of an age process because when I turned 40, I was like, where is my life going? And at the time I was married. I was married saying that. I felt like I was lonely and I was married. It was stupid, right? When we divorced, I was happy. You know why? Because at that age, I really just wanted that space. I wanted to have my own. I felt like I lost myself. So then I started dating, and I started to realize, because my best friend used to say, what is your type? I honestly did not know my type. What is your type? Do you like a dark-skinned guy? Do you like a light-skinned guy? Do you like a white guy, Puerto Rican guy? What do you like? And I was like, I don't know. I only know when I see them. So if you was interested in me and you liked me and it was something about, because I used to like club boogers, you know, and I think I still like club boogers a little bit, but I'm sorry, I just had to go there. But sometimes I want a guy that's conservative. And then, yeah, I do want you to be my height or a little taller than I am. You know, so it's a little confusing to me. So I can't explain to a guy what I want because I'm confused. Does that make sense?
No.
It does not make sense. It doesn't. Because I don't know.
And then we get mad at them when they don't meet our needs.
Right. It's like, you're not it. I don't like your cologne. Why do you wear your earring like that? Why do you have earrings? Why is your pants fitting like that? Why would you buy those pants? Why your shirt look like that? And you become a nagger. You're annoying. It sounds silly, but you know. Shalanda, we gotta get this shit done.
And so I'm trying to date. Right.
Right.
So I've never been married, and my story about marriage is that it was a lockdown, and there was something for me about commitment. Like, I'm always committed when I'm in a relationship, but the idea of calling it a relationship or making it marriage, I feel like people just move to the left, they get different. So I like the comfort of being committed, but knowing that at any time I could get up and be like, I'm done. I ain't got to deal with this shit. Oh, excuse me.
It's okay. She can hurt. But like we talked earlier that, you know, I've been doing all of this work for myself, like really taking a look at where I'm at and what I really want, and I always love, like being in a relationship and really being connected to another. And you don't be a hater. Like, you see other people in life, you're like, that is great. I don't really want to be like that. I'm so not, because I'm just like in my own. But I think it's a me thing. I think it's my skirt keeps rising. I think it's a me thing. I think it's a way. I think we're finding ourselves. We're learning what we like. It's difficult to explain, like I said earlier, of what you want, and you just know what you don't. And what you don't like. I think I know what I want. I want someone who communicates. Right, because like I said, I'm at 51, I'm an empty nester, so I don't have the responsibility of raising a child. Like, I get to really create my life. Like, I'm not punching no clocks. Like, I get to move how I want to move.
So I want to date someone who's open, who's flexible, who just wants to live, who wants to love, who wants to have fun, who's a great communicator. I like my brothers. I'm not ready to, but I shouldn't limit myself, right?
Yeah.
But right now, I like my brothers. So I just want to live, and I just want to have fun, and I want to communicate, and I don't want to meet people's representative. I want people to be straight up, because I am, right? And so I over communicate. At least that's my experience of myself sometimes, and then they're not saying, and I'm like, hello, are you present? But I don't want to carry it.
Are you listening to
right?
me?
But I don't want to carry the relationship either. I don't want to be the one doing all of the work.
Right. Okay, so she's the opposite of me. 'Cause I just don't say nothing. I'll be quiet the whole time, and I'll be like, I just want you to stop talking. That is terrible. But okay, we on two different stories here because
But it's all inside dating, right?
No, but maybe you just at a different level because you're older than me. So maybe you like that, and I just want shush, quiet, meditation. Like, why are you talking right now? I just want to open up the box, and then the person comes out and talks. This is so stupid, but it's so true. Open up the box, you can talk to me, and then I want to close the box.
Right.
I don't need to be in a relationship then. That's so sucky.
I don't agree with that.
Picky boo, that's what I want. Oh, you're here? Okay,
but
great,
if you're
goodbye.
straight about that, and you
I'm being
communicate
honest with
that,
myself.
no, you have to communicate it to the man.
Right.
Like, you have to actually communicate that that's what it is that you want, because there is a place in relationships for us to have our space. I don't think we're not young people where we got to see each other every day. We're on top of each other every day. We got to live and do other things. I'm okay with that. But if you communicate it, then they already know what it is.
Okay, well, I'm taking that advice in this shit out.
I don't know how to date. I'm just saying. Everything starts in communication.
Okay,
I will say that.
so
Everything is inside communication.
I think that I'm really good at giving advice. I'm just really not good at giving myself advice or listening to myself.
Trusting yourself. That's what I hear, that you don't trust yourself.
I don't.
And I ain't gonna say no more. I'm gonna just leave that right there. That's a different conversation.
But that's because, and for my followers, y'all know because I've been through a domestic situation, so I don't trust myself. I feel like, am I making the right decision? This person is always nice, and people are nice. People are like that. You could be the person, they could be the best thing ever. You talking, you're happy, and y'all have a good time together, but then later on, they're manipulating you, they're getting something from you, they're taking something from you. And yes, in a relationship, it should be a give and take situation. How much should they take from you? Should it be a limitation? It's a good question, right?
So,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a good conversation,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm on the other side of that, right? And so I love when you said we talked about not trusting yourself, and so I don't trust myself either. So when I got really clear about that, I don't do this really well. So I turned it over to Jesus. Yeah, we're gonna bring Jesus in here for a minute.
No,
right?
you need Jesus.
So I turned it over to Jesus. I was like,
where I'm at.
and you know what I need. You
What
know
am I
me better
gonna
than
do?
I know myself, right? And so I could petition you with, I want him to look like this, I want him to have that, and that's all nice, because those are the things I've been going for that never worked out. I said, so now I just turned it over to Jesus. Like,
Exactly.
give me a little bit of what I like, because I'm a little swaggy, I like a little style, you know what I mean?
Who doesn't? I mean, well, some people just take whatever.
So,
but
I like him like
do
that, but
wanna
I
have
know
a little bit of, right.
that he's going to give me what I need,
Right.
ultimately.
Right.
And so that's what I'm holding. So I just pray for that, and I just look for the Jesus. I look for God in there now. And that's something I didn't do before. And I'm very clear about that. The man has to have an intimate relationship with God, not just go to church, not grow up in a church.
Not just be spiritual.
That when times hit, they know who to go to.
Right.
Right? They
Right.
know that
Especially
he's
when
in
I'm
control.
cutting up and acting a fool. Okay. Yes.
I need God to come in and intervene and be like, she love you. She a good one. Take your time. Listen.
You need patience for this one, because Lord,
Exactly.
you need patience for this one, because I'm trying here myself.
Right.
And it's true, because I know that I could be a lot to bear, with myself. I have like this saying that I always say, I'm at the point where I just can't stand myself. And it's so true. Like, I just don't want to, be bothered with me. So I have these quiet moments, and I can, like, not answer the phone for days. It's not that I don't want to be bothered or I don't like you. I need a moment to balance stuff out. I'm very busy. I'm very busy. I'm even, if I'm not busy and I'm not physically doing something, here is working. So you gotta be a strong man to be able to deal with that.
Yes, I got that.
Yeah,
But see, God knows what we need.
he does.
And he's going to always give us what we need. And what I'm just discovering in my own journey in dating is that I need to just stay out of the way and just let him do his thing. Like, because then I get in my head, I start overthinking, and then I'll bring up my past, and I'll bring it to the present.
Oh my goodness.
And then, and now I don't want to be bothered.
Like, because
I don't wanna be dating
what
no
you
more.
did was
Yeah.
is you did the same thing that my ex did, and what I don't want is a man that's like my ex. That is so corny. That is.
Yeah, but we do it by default because it's our experience, right? And some things trigger.
And then they do it too.
They
Men
do.
it too.
But that's why communication, I'm sorry, I just got to say, that's why communication is important, because if I'm communicating, like you just said XYZ, and my ex kind of moved like that, and I feel some type
The red
of way.
flag came up.
Right. And I know that's not you, but I just need to be responsible for that. It moved me to the left just a little bit. And so I have that when I'm being responsible for when my stuff is coming up, that it takes the BS out of the situation, right? So I'm practicing it, y'all, and I'm just offering that to you. Like, just communicating.
Hey, so, we were just talking about, dating and stuff and how things could get a little, like, awkward with dating. So during our little break, me and Shireen started going to this topic that was hot and furious. I'm not going to tell you who said what and what happened. But what I am going to say is that, what do you do if you are a woman? What do you consider dating? That was one of our questions. What do you consider dating? Do you consider dating multiple people? Or do you consider dating just one person? So if you started dating one person, do you take the time to get to know the person? Or do you go on a date? So what is dating? Is it dating and sleeping with the person? Or is it date and then go to dinner and then you just have a conversation? Right? So there is different ways to date, right? Right. So my thing was, if I'm dating multiple people, how am I getting to know the other person? These are things that I think about every day. These are like my inner thoughts. So if I'm dating a guy, right, and he seems to be everything I think I want, but I'm on this site and this guy looks like the type of guy that I like too. So I'm gonna go to dinner with him and I'm gonna get to know him. Do I forget about the other guy? Or do I continue to date these two guys? But one I'm sleeping with, but one I'm not. So am I wrong? Shireen, what do you think?
That's the setup. So I started this with, I don't know how to date. Like,
So she always says she doesn't know how to date.
I don't, because if I like you, like, let's go with your scenario, right? You meet someone, you start dating them, you like them. Like, when I like somebody, then they're getting my attention. Like, when I was a young person, yes, I dated multiple people, I did my thing, but at some point in my life, I said that if I can't get everything I need in that one person, then I won't be with them. And the other thing I said, what I discovered about myself is when I was dating a lot of people, like you just said, my focus was everywhere.
And don't get it twisted
So
when
then
we say a lot of people. It'd be like two, maybe
When
three.
I was young,
Like,
I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm just saying, right? I was young, I was living. But the point what I'm saying is that when I discovered that when I was dating too many people, I wasn't really getting to know any one particular person.
Because you were just having fun.
Right.
Right.
So for me, my focus needs to be like one at a time. But then I get invested, and I'm spending my time and my energy, and then they be on some BS, and then they don't want to,
so what do you do?
and then I'm mad.
So, okay, and I totally get that. Like, that's That's real talk right there, because a lot of people experience that. Do you invest time and energy? Is it wrong? Should it be a limit? Should you tell yourself that, all right, I've been dating him for 3 weeks. I think there should be a self-evaluation. I think you should evaluate your relationship with that person and have a communication with them, a conversation saying, hey, where are we going? Now, the reason why I say that, I dated someone for 4 years. I'm going to say date. You know why? We didn't go nowhere. We didn't go on no trips. We didn't go on no vacation. We didn't go nowhere on a weekend. We didn't do anything. What we did do is have a lot of fun in the bedroom. So towards the end of the relationship, I got flowers and chocolate and but I was like, I'm not even interested anymore. I don't even want to invest the time, because I felt emotionally that person was not there for me, and I dumped on myself because I invested years in something that didn't go anywhere. This person took vacations alone. And I wasn't included in the vacation. Half the time I didn't even know they were going on vacation. I got I'm going on vacation. So, is that really your boyfriend? No.
Fake boyfriend.
Oh. So, on top of that, it made me realize I'm doing something wrong. I committed time, energy, and that person just was not there for me. And you had your friends, like, my girl over here, she like fake boyfriend. And it's true. To him, I'm your boyfriend. Yeah, because you like having a good time with me. You like to we have a good time. But on the flip note, I'm loyal. I'm there. When you got a problem, I'm there for you. And if you watch this video, you'll understand where I'm coming from. But hey, it is what it is. But on top of that, what I learned from myself was I want now to be in a relationship. I want to get married one day. And it took me to realize 4 years in a relationship and nothing happened. I want to go on trips. My kids are grown. My daughter's 27. My son is 22, and I have a 17-year-old. Before you know it, he'll be 18. Everyone will be grown. I'm going to be single. I don't want to be single. I want to go on vacation. I want to spend quality time with whoever I love and who I want to be with. But I really want to find a person that will be able to, be able to provide, take care of you, love you, make you feel good. That's a great thing, but they need to be a provider too. Everybody has to be equally yoked. During a sermon, when it came down to dating, my pastor brought up that you shouldn't date multiple people, because what happens is you date multiple people and it becomes confusing for you and them, and it's hard to balance out if your relationship, if you're gonna be in a relationship with that person, it's not giving that person time to show you what they have. But communication is the key. And you should give yourself a timing of, by this time we should be doing this. By that time we should be doing this. On this level, we should be at this level at this time. And I think that works, and I'm learning to do that now. And I'm learning to communicate. That's hard. That is very hard. Because when you're bitter, or when you just feel stuck, or you feel like that person is not listening, it's best for you to say, you know what, let me do this talking, because I don't want to be in this thing for a long time. I don't want to do this. I'm ready to move on to the next person. So you need to say, listen, are we going to take a vacation? If we're not planning this vacation in your mind, mental thought, if we're not planning a vacation within the next couple of months, and I already said that person is ignoring me. I need to be moving forward with someone that's going to take a vacation, that's going to book a vacation and say, hey, when are you on? Can you put in this time? Can you do this? That's how you do stuff. Because it's selfish if you just booked your vacation because you felt like you needed time for yourself, but you're telling the person you love them. So or you telling the person, I really like you, I want to spend time with you, I want to get to know you. The best time to get to know a person is take a trip. Take a trip. You get your space together, y'all do something together, y'all talk, you plan that whole weekend out. It helps you get to know that person and what that person is about. That's what I'm desiring. That's what I'm desiring now, because I know that was something that was missing in my relationship. I didn't get that. I felt gypped, you know. So I ended up not wanting to be bothered, and everything that person was saying to me ended up being like in one ear and out the other. Do you spread that onto your next relationship? My advice, don't take your baggage to the next relationship, because that was something that my pastor had brought up too. Bringing your baggage to the next relationship, so what that person didn't do, like for instance, next relationship, or you date another person. Listen, I'm not trying to date nobody that's not trying to go nowhere, not trying to do nothing with me, not trying to take me no place. I'm not trying to do, you gonna take me out to dinner. They is turned off. They like, what? She came. Well, what? Like, I did take you out last week. I know. I'm just saying, like, you know, we're gonna go on trips. Did you talk about it? Like, do he want to take you on a trip? You only knew him 1 week. Like, you ready to go? But you know, like, you give a person time to get to know you. If they even want to go on a trip with you, you probably don't even like the person, but you're so desperate they want to go on a trip somewhere. You know, like, these are things that you need to think about. And knowing what you like. Knowing what you like. I'm learning. I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. Well, I'm going to just tell you, did you just poop, or did you just, like, pass gas, or did you use my washcloth, or did you go in my bathroom? It was kind of damp. Did it fail? Did you tell me? No. You know, like, I have like my little pet peeves, and it's kind of silly, but these are things that I experienced a person do to me for years. And it wasn't that ex. It was the ex-husband. They did stuff to you to make you miserable. Another thing is, if you notice a person is kind of bitter and miserable, leave them alone. That's men and women. Just leave them alone. If they're miserable, they got their baggage, or they have just whatever. It don't even have to be a relationship baggage. They just might just have mommy issues. Leave them alone. They're gonna make you miserable. You're not gonna be happy. There's nothing that you could do to make it better for them or make them feel better. That's something that people have to do on their own. They have to be able to cure themselves in order to end up in a relationship. So, am I ready for a relationship? Do I want a relationship? Yeah, sounds dreamy. But at the same time, am I ready? I don't know.
I love it. And you said so much, I don't even know where to start. Right?
But these are thoughts that single women, not just black women, single women go through all the time. Another experience is you're getting older. You meet a guy. He's nice. He's full of energy. He's a biker, or he does dirt. He rides his bike. He does bungee jumping. I'm not that type of person. No, don't be like, yeah, I want to try. You don't like heights. Don't say that. Don't say that. Give a person. Don't try to be something that a person wants. And you are not that type of person. That's wasting the time. You're going to be bitter because that person does not want you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I see a lot of people do things just like that. They be things that a person wants, but that's not who they are. They could be a plain Jane. They don't wear makeup. They don't wear heels. They wear flats. They have natural hair. They wear wigs. I'm a little mixture. I do wigs. Today I got extensions. Yeah, you know, I could be natural. I could do curly. I could do straight. It's whatever I feel like it. Or whatever I feel like. But it's a journey.
Whenever you're ready.
It's a journey.
Yeah. So I am ready. Like, I heard you talk about like, are you really ready? Right? And so I'm an only child. I'm used to being by myself.
She is really the only child. She acts like the only child person.
Right? So I can be in spaces by myself, right? And so I have to put myself out there. If not, I could just kind of just go about like doing whatever it is that I'm doing by myself. And when I discovered, you know, in the past couple of years that I want to be in a relationship, that I don't know if it's about being ready, right? I want a relationship, and nothing's easy. Everything, you got to work. And I don't know how to say it best, but what I'm saying is that whatever my issues are about relationships is not going to get worked out with me being by myself.
No.
I have to actually be in a relationship to really discover what those issues are and work them out inside of that relationship. So that's why I said communication is important, right? Because nobody's perfect. You're not going to love everything about anybody. It's always going to be something, but if you're communicating about it, that's when you discover, is this something I can really be with? Is this something that I'm willing to compromise on or not? But if I'm just over here being in my, I'm not ready, I don't know if I'm ready, then I'm never going to really have what I want. Like, you got to take the action and then see what happens inside of taking that action. So I am ready. And I'm ready to communicate and being connected, but I don't want to do all of the work either.
No.
I don't want to be the only one communicating. I don't want to be the only one who wants this. I don't. And then Pastor said, like, baggage. Like, don't bring one baggage into, baggage from the old one into the other one. So I agree with that.
But
so
I
there needs to
do
be space
feel
in
like
between.
sometimes you have to let that person know I got this luggage.
Like, what's going on with you? Right. So that all is in communication.
You do
like,
need
I
to
went
tell
through
the person
this.
because it leaves them open to say, yo, I got a couple of things in my suitcase too that I need to unload.
Let's see if we got a matching set.
Right. Because then you can know if you're going to be able to compromise with that person, because you know that that's an issue. I got mommy issues. I don't communicate with my mom. I got daddy problems. And it's definitely feel like it's just learning dead on about yourself. Because the whole part of a relationship is to know you. Because if you know you don't like somebody picking their boogers, I know I'm going there. Or and they get in the bed and they start picking their feet, stuff like that. You don't want residue of like corn juice.
But just communicate that.
Right.
Like when they picking their boogers, be like, here's some tissue.
You want some tissue, boo?
That's it.
Hey, babe.
When you picking your toes, can you not do that here? Can
I'm
you
gonna
do
leave
that
a
over
box
there?
of tissue. He's coming over tonight. I'm gonna give him a box of tissue. He'll be able to blow his nose, pick his boogers, put his boogers in there, and some hand sanitizer, because I don't want his booger on me.
That's it.
Ooh,
I love that.
And I know it sounds so stupid, right? It sounds dumb, but these are things that people go through in their relationships. This is what breaks up relationships, dead serious. People are like, he's gross, he's nasty, he picking his feet. I'm like, he just took a shower, so why he get in the bed and pick his feet?
I'm raising my hand. I interject. That's not what breaks up relationships, is that people don't communicate about those little nuances, right? Because the same thing, we might have something about picking boogers in their feet. They may have something about us. Always in the mirror, always with your hair. Ask me 50 billion times, you like this outfit? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna put on this one.
I'm gonna tell you what it should be.
But they might have the same. They might have their own stuff.
I am a pillow lover. I am a pillow. I will hug the pillow and not you. How she know? Because we did a whole Atlantic City trip, and I was on the couch, and I was like,
she was attached.
I got a pillow. My legs and feet. My bestie was like, really? It was serious. But
But you look happy.
I was very happy. I was content. Listen. Between that pillow and the damn shower, honey. That shower was amazing. I wanted to take the shower and the pillow.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
It was such a nice. I forgot the hotel name, but it was such a nice place. And our massage was everything.
It was.
We had a really good time. But yes.
So the point I was making is, it is difficult, and it's all communication. For me, it's just communication.
And you can't communicate with a pillow. I know I'm still there with the pillow, but you just can't communicate with a pillow. You have to be able to let go of some stuff. Okay.
And communication is not just talking.
Well,
It's
not.
listening.
It's body
but
language,
people don't
it's
get that,
talking.
right? They think I just
Yeah.
gotta say what's there for me. But
You
also
can
gotta
hurt
listen.
someone's feelings
Right, you gotta listen for what's
with
important to
body
somebody
language.
else.
Yes, like I got a thing where I'll be like, oh, sorry, touch. Can't see my eyes because it's sunny out, but I'm saying, I'll be like, can you see the mouth? That's body language. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing.
Well, Shalanda, why not just say, I don't want you to touch me right now?
Because sometimes I say, what I was saying was, I do communicate, but what happens is that sometimes a person has a desire to want to touch you, and they think they can make it feel better, but they not. Like, it hurts. I don't want to be touched. I'm having a mood swing. You know, even if they's like, let me go get her some ice packs because she got like inflammation. I'm still agitated. I do feel bad, but I'm like, I don't really feel like being bothered. Bring me the ice packs though. Like I'm hurting. And if you know a person, then you would know they don't mean no harm, and you know, and I find that's an issue for me. You know, I end up not wanting to be bothered. I end up not wanting to go on a date. I end up not wanting to meet up because I have an attitude. You know, actually, my friend here, before we're gonna do the interview, and she's like, you know, I don't know, I might show up on camera, my good and my bad. And sometimes showing a little bit of good and bad, it shows that you're human. So everything on camera is not perfect. We watch movies all the time. It's never a perfect world, but this is real life. It's not fakeness. This is where I'm at with things. And there was just some personal stuff she was dealing with. But then, you know, we were able to come up with some topics, and me and her swing like that. We could just have like the best conversations about anything, and it's okay to disagree, you know? Just like she's like, nah, I feel, you know, and that's fine. That's fine. That's another thing, women. Y'all have to learn how to disagree with one another. It's too much round to one another, especially with our limited of men. We don't have a lot of men. A lot of times black men feel like we don't want them. And that's not true. We do want our black men. Our black men are our kings. They are men that struggle just like us. Money, personality, grinding, trying to make things work. Nagging is an issue. Not wanting to be bothered is a definite problem. But we should never make them feel unwanted. You know, we have to learn how to give and take. And it is a struggle. It definitely is a struggle to be able to give when we want to take. So when we say communication, body language is a communication. Listening is you're communicating even if you're not talking. You are communicating by listening and understanding. Even if you don't understand, hearing where that person is coming from is important. Another thing is physical touch. That's a big issue for me. I like to be not touched. She said I like to not be touched. I love her. I like to be not touched. You know, but on a festy day, hey, let's get it. You know, but I gotta tell you when, because I don't really be feeling like being touched. But guarantee if you wait a little while, you have a good time. But you know, it is what it is. But listening to people is important. Hearing where they're coming from, and again, if a person doesn't want to be physically touched, you could do other things. Your presence is being there. They just don't want you to touch them or talk. It sounds so mean and not nice, but a lot of times people don't understand where you're coming from. But if you love a person and you like them or you care about them and you really do want to be in their presence, you know, a question should be, do you feel like being bothered? Do you want me to be here? Should I leave? You know, what do you want? It opens the door to say, yes, I do want you to be here. It's just that, you know, I enjoy your presence. I just don't want to be touched. You know, and it's a respect. Communication, respect is important. it is part of communicating, being respectful. It is. When a person feels disrespected, that means there's no communication. You are not listening to me. I said not to touch me. You touching me. I said I don't really want to hear noise. I'm not feeling good. You know, what can I do to make it better? Is there anything I could do? No. Your answer should be no. You know, but I do enjoy your company. You know, can we just watch a movie? And that's nice. Don't say, no, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be touched. Like, just leave me alone. Because leave me alone, you really don't want to be left alone. Because you don't feel good and you're in pain. You really want somebody to sit right there and be quiet and don't say nothing. But they're making things better. They ask me if you want some water, some juice, some soda, a glass of wine. You want some wine? I definitely always want wine. But
Red.
Moscato. What is it? Red blend. Yes, that's my thing right there. Red blend. But you know, like it's all about the wording.
Right.
And sometimes you could say "leave me alone" so differently. Like I just told you, you know. I just don't feel like being bothered. But don't go, because the person be like, "You don't want to be bothered. What you asked me to come over here for? You don't want to be bothered."
But see, when you say that, like,
because when
you're
you leave,
not
you miss
really,
them.
but you're not really communicating.
I do want you to be here.
Right.
You have to
Because
say
when
it.
you say you're not being bothered, what are you really saying?
No, leave me alone. Right, but women do that.
But is it right? That's what I'm saying. If
We
it doesn't
do that,
work,
but it's
instead of
not
saying,
right.
I just need 5 minutes, I had a rough day, or I just got off the
Sometimes
phone and I had this conversation,
Right.
and I just need to regroup.
Right.
5 minutes.
Don't leave.
Right. Instead of leave me alone, or I don't want to be bothered, because that's not true.
I do.
It's just that I need a minute.
I do. Say that.
I just need something happen. It's not you. And what I was thinking about when you was talking is, like, I remember being in relationships, but it was like long-term relationships where we can occupy a space and not talk, and it was okay. And it wasn't personal. It wasn't like he was getting mad or I wasn't getting mad. It was
Go
like,
read a book. We could read the book together.
Right.
Some people feel like I'm being bothered with you, or I'm in here and I came over here for no reason. Do you
24
want to be
hours,
in my
no.
face? That's fine. But at the same time, we need to be doing other things besides this or this. There could be other things. That's how people lose interest in one another. If it's always one or two things, this, or you just negative. You don't want to hear that. You need some positive energy. You be like, you want me to put some music on, you know? You be like, why are you talking a lot? But you know what? Yeah, the music is good. Tell somebody something. No, because you don't be wanting to. I just don't be wanting to talk. I really be thinking. You know what I'm learning to do is get help. When I have all these 1,000 things in my head, I'm writing them down. And I'm giving people things that I need them to help me with, to help me be a better person.
You're so funny. Who is that for? Whoever that's for, I hope y'all got that, because she leaned in.
A better person. I am being a better person in my head.
I love it.
Because it's a struggle for me, and I'm learning. You're not so nice, not like you think you are. Yes, the show is called Shape of the New Day. You know why? Because it's always a day to start over. And say sorry, because I'm learning. From a kid, I never liked to say sorry, and I'm learning to say, I apologize, because, you know, God gave us other words. So, you know, sorry makes me seem weak, and I don't want to be weak. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, I'm not an I sorry person either. But I will be responsible for my actions, right? Because, like, beyond sorry, like, when people's like sorry, it's like, what you sorry for? And a lot of times they can't tell you what they're sorry for, so it just kind of just cancels it all out. So I practice now, just like I said something or I did something, and there's an impact. Because that's the thing is, it's like really acknowledging that what you say and what you do, there's an impact in the world. And when you can acknowledge that for me is better than an apology, because you're really getting that there was something over here with you that caused something out there that wasn't cool.
And you gotta acknowledge that.
Yeah. So that makes a difference. So give up those apologies. It means nothing if you don't know what you're apologizing for, or you're not ready to be responsible for what you're apologizing for, and really getting that there's an impact. And this is for both men and women alike. Like there's an impact.
It is.
So that's all I got about that.
I
You
love this
her?
conversation.
What else we talking about?
All right, she is ready now,
I'm
honey.
ready. I'm warmed up.
What would be your advice to a family? Because we're going to talk about domestic violence. Because that's one of the things that me and her definitely have in common.
Survivors. We are survivors of domestic violence. I am not a victim, and nor is she.
No.
Survivors.
And we definitely is not a sad story. We're just a story, the best story to ever be told. That's what it is. So what we're going to say is my advice to anyone that's out there that is in a domestic violence situation. How do you know you're in a domestic violence situation? Right? It's always a question. A lot of you don't know that you're in a domestic violence situation. What is domestic violence? It could be verbal. It could be physical. It could be emotional. It could be mentally. Yes. Among other things. Financial. Yes. That, so,
But
so,
most people focus on the physical.
right, and it's definitely not always physical. A person can feel that they financially do justice for you. They give you money, they make sure you're okay, you have everything, but it's also a way to control you. Because when you want something and they don't give it to you, and it's your money, you're being financially abused. And you don't even know that. Your debit card is being swiped without telling you, just because you're married to that person, or you're in a relationship and y'all share the same bills. He should not be, or she should not be swiping your card without permission. You are being abused. And we're laughing because it's insane that a person could think they're going to go in your wallet and swipe your card.
Okay.
It's not okay. It's actually a crime. Even if you're married to that person, stop doing that.
And then what happens when you confront them about it?
Oh, they're like, well, remember that pizza I bought you? Remember that outfit I bought you? That's basically telling you that basically they're not giving you nothing. They're going to take it back every time they give you something. My mom used to call it flipping. So if...
What does that mean, flipping?
Right. So like a drug dealer,
Uh-huh.
he gets something back from the addicts, which is money. He takes that money, he flips it. He makes more of a profit. So that's exactly what they're doing with you. They're taking, but they're taking in multiple different ways. So they're taking from you financially, emotionally, because you had to do something with the money that you had in your account. You weren't able to do that because they took it. And when you asked, why? Well, I'm going to give it back to you. But I need it now because if I don't pay this, I can't do this. Well, that's going to have to wait because what I needed was important. So that's when it becomes an emotional issue. All of those things are dominoes. So even if you're thinking it's a financial situation, it's not, because it's leading into something else. Because now I'm hurt because what I really needed to do, I can't do, especially for your child. You can't do because they took your money. I had that situation. My other was physical. It wasn't always a physical situation, but it was always a verbal situation. So when it came down to money, and when it came down to something I felt was being done wrong to me, it was like, well, I don't care. So remember what we spoke about earlier about body language. I would get the body language effect. I would get the side eye. I would get the evil eye. I would get something done to me that I didn't even know was coming, but the spider senses was like, something's about to happen. If you feel uncomfortable in the presence of a person that you love and they say they love you, it is something happening. He's not or she's not for you. You should never feel uncomfortable with someone that says they love you. They should never make you feel like that. So when you thinking is one thing, emotional, and it's not physical, so it's okay, it's not, because it's actually becoming physical. I have fibromyalgia because of trauma. because of my emotions being all over the place, like a roller coaster, not sure what's going on. I feel like he's doing something behind my back. Did he do something? He took my card. I didn't even know that I was missing $50. Or I had $50 in my pocket, but now it's not $50 anymore. But I know I had the $50. I don't think he would take my $50, but he took my $50. But why would he do that when I know I said that I needed the $50 for something, but you know, so how I'm getting to work? Where's my Metro card? I can't even get to work because I took my Metro card. Where's my Metro card? How I'm going to get to work? I'm going to be late. Oh my God. It's taking from me financially because I'm going to get to work and I lost my money. So not only did I lose $50 because you took my $50 and my Metro card because you needed it, but now I don't have my Metro card. I got to work late. That money I had to ask somebody to cash app it to me because I don't have the money, and now I'm embarrassed. Because Shalanda, why you don't have the money? Because didn't you just get your check yesterday? Yeah, but I had to pay the light bill. Now I gotta explain to somebody what I'm going through. But aren't you married? I never had that experience in my life. And that's why you shouldn't walk out of one relationship into another one. And that's what I did. I walked out of an okay relationship and went into a marriage that really, really sucked. Because you know why? I had just became Christian, and you know, I had stopped drinking for so long, and I was being taken advantage of because I was being wheeled in. I'm looking for a sugar mama.
That was
You
his
know.
point of view.
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Right.
I'm looking for somebody that's going to help me. So when marriage happened, it's like the man is supposed to take charge and do what he's supposed to do, but that man can't because he don't have no job, he don't have no money. You knew this when you got with him. Everybody kept saying that to me. It hurt my feelings. It hurt. And they felt like they was being a friend, but really on a flip note, they wasn't being a friend. It wasn't. They was making you feel worse, not even knowing. So that's why sometimes it's best to shut up, friends. It's nothing wrong with helping your friend, but let them tell you what's the matter, because sometimes we can hurt our friends worse than what they already hurt. And I don't know if you ever experienced that, but that's what I got. I'm not even friends with these people anymore because they went to my offender. Not only did my offender beat me, but when I was being from the injuries of being choked and pushed down or pulled and tugged underneath the medication, when I'm under the influence, I was being raped. I didn't know that. I thought, I don't know. I wanted to think that's not happening. Maybe I was bugging because I'm taking this medication. Maybe I was a little out of it. Maybe I'm taking too much of the medication. Maybe it's part of my condition. I am hallucinating. He wouldn't do that to me until I actually had to go get an order of protection. They was like, have you ever did this? Have you ever did that? And you realize you were being raped. So it sucks. But do I wear that? Do I show that to everybody? No. But yes, domestic violence is serious. Telling somebody what you're going through, be careful who you tell. That's why I said friends could think they're helping. Some friends are not helping, and it's not their fault. You know, if I distance myself, I'm sorry. I just needed to do that because I didn't want to be reminded of him. But that's what happened to me, you know. And I try to, when I see people go through it and they don't know, it's like you don't want to intervene unless they ask you a question. And my answer is always, what do you want to do for yourself? What makes you feel comfortable? What do you think? Because you know what it is. When you're being abused, you feel like you don't have a choice. You feel like that person, you don't feel like you have a choice. You feel like you are not making the right decision. So you need some advice from somebody else. The question is, what do you think you should do? You already know the answer. How do you get out of it? And I say this to anybody. It is a way. If it's a will, it is a way to get out of this. Even if you feel like he got everything, he's taking everything from you. She has everything. She has control. She has a job. She has this. She has that. I don't have it. There are programs out there that could help you. There are things out there that can help you. And don't have so much pride. And just be mindful who you tell, because sometimes remember, y'all share friends. Friends go tell, and friends don't want you to break up because they like seeing y'all together, because y'all look great in the public. In the house, that's where all the chaos is. That's where the enemy just takes over and does all kinds of stuff. But what would be your advice? Because I mean, like, I do a lot of stuff out there just from my experience. What would be your advice from what you went through?
So I prayed.
I forgot.
Let me not forget.
How did you not forget? How did you forget that?
I prayed a lot, and you know, and praying, like they say, you got to know what you're praying for. Like, you got to be really clear and specific. Like, I prayed for some freedom, for some. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Because it was something. It was a lot to go through, and it was with my daughter's father. So I prayed, and for a long time I just prayed for him to go away. Like, I wanted God to move him versus me taking an action. Like, I just felt like it would have been easier if he just moved him.
No.
Like, I hope he meets somebody else. I hope he just, go away.
Mm-hmm.
And as I deepened my relationship with God, like, he started speaking to me, and what it is that I was required to do something. I needed to trust him. I needed to take actions. That means I needed to call 911. I was on this thing like, I can't call the cops on my child's father or on a black man. I already know how they get oppressed in the world and how they get treated. Why would I want the white man to come in and intervene and regulate, you know what I mean, our home, you know? And so I wouldn't do it. And I had to, because then it became about protection, right? And I had to hear what God was saying to me, that I needed to trust him. I needed to take actions and trust him, and everything would work out. And it did. And so I had God, I had my church family. You're right, family and friends. Like, it depends. Like, some of them are going to come to your rescue.
Selective.
Right?
Yeah.
They want to go and they want to step to him. If it's a man, they want to have this conversation. He starts busting a tear, and then they're like, oh, he just really loves you. And then women, I mean, it was an ordeal, because even with the cops being involved, they used to come and then be like, oh, he really cares about you. And I'm like, I'm sorry you're not getting whatever you need at home, but I don't need you to be projecting right now. Like your man not crying, so you see him crying about me, and because he want to be with me. But see, part of a relationship is respect, like you said.
And
you
they
said
could
that
be
at the
setbacks
beginning.
just like that, where you call the cops and they didn't help.
And they don't show up, or they take forever to get there. Like, I mean, I went through the gamut of things, but I had to stay on task, because once I just stayed focused and I just stayed consistent, just kept calling, and I had a lot of pride. Why I gotta leave my house because he don't know how to act, I was like all like that. Sometimes I had to gather me and my daughter up and change the environment. And ultimately, that's what happened. I had to move where he couldn't find us. Like, I had to actually go through the entire process of getting a domestic violence transfer and move and this, that, and the other, because it wouldn't stop. And the abuse was more emotional, and it would turn into physical. It's like, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with you. Oh, you going to be with me.
Well, no,
and you're going to have sex with me, and you're going to do
like,
whatever I want. No, I'm
going to
not.
do a whole bunch of stuff to you, and then I'm going to leave, because I really don't want to be with you, but I don't want nobody else to have you either.
But that's
so I just
it.
want to make you miserable.
That's it. But isn't that what it is? Because he was moving around in them streets. Like, we found out years later, my daughter, that he had 2 more kids inside of the time that he's like, won't leave. So does that make sense? You here fighting me, abusing me mentally and emotionally and physically. Like, I gotta, like, he never like hit, but it was like pushing and
bodily force.
yes.
Yeah.
And it just didn't turn out good. But then to find out you got 2 kids. So then why you was pressing me when you in them streets already? Why didn't you just leave? So it's just about control, which is what you said earlier. Like, domestic violence, it shows up inside of control.
Right.
I say when, I say how. And it's not, and I'm
don't
gonna treat
even
you
know
however I
you're
want to
being
treat you.
abused.
Exactly.
And it doesn't just happen to women. It happens to men. It happens to children.
Yes,
it happens to, abuse is abuse.
It is abuse.
And
I'm sorry, I got off tangent. I got in my story, so apologize, y'all. But
don't
I'm done with it.
apologize.
But
Somebody
what I'm saying
is
is,
gonna watch this and be like,
yes. But the resources is there's all type of resources. I say pray. I say go to your church home. I also say, we have to use the cops. We can't be afraid to call 911. No, they're not always on our side, but we got to use them the way we can use them to help us move out of these situations. They actually do have domestic violence shelters. They have domestic violence hotline. And a lot of time what stops us, I know it stopped me, was my pride and my ego. Like, he don't get to do this to me. Why do I have to give up my life? Why do I have to? Because it's always the women and the kids that have to leave. And they get to, like, I have
Why
to
do I
leave
have
when
to change
I'm
my
the
whole
one,
environment?
right,
I like my home.
and
I
start
like the way
all
things
over
look.
again because he don't know how to act right. And I just say that we have to do what we have to do because it's about our peace at the end of the day. And our kids are watching. Can I say that again? Our kids are watching. You know, because sometimes I've heard women say that just in my work with children and families, I stay because of the kids. That's not a reason to stay because now they're watching. They think that this is what love looks like.
And those things develop into them doing the same thing. So your child is being shown that it's okay to hurt a woman, to hurt a man, to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
They could take on a different angle of it. So it could be the violence, or it could be an emotional thing.
Yeah.
You wondering why your kid's so angry
Yeah.
and why they behave like that, or why they're so suppressed, and then they become depressed. You know, and that's because they're watching you make these horrible choices, and they know it's the way out. Sometimes we gotta listen to our kids. It took me to listen to my daughter. You know, I was walking around looking. I'm sorry, but I remember that day because she came into the room. She woke me up. She said, "Mom, I went on your Facebook page. Why do you look like this?" And I was like, I don't know. What's wrong with my pictures? Somebody, you look horrible. Why the picture's so close up in your face? You look tired. You're a pretty woman. You don't. And she said it in front of him. And he said, why would you say that to her? And I went in the bathroom and I cried so hard. And I said to him, it's okay. Because I knew I raised this girl to speak her mind. And I said she wouldn't lie to me. She wouldn't do that to make me feel bad. I went in the bathroom and I cried. And she was so upset. And I said, I'm letting my kid down. And then I had a little kid, he was just angry. And I'm like, I don't know why he's angry. You know, I'm an adult. It's my problem. You know, and I felt like I was the problem. Because I felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do as a wife. You know, I don't understand. I cook and I get him gifts and I think of him all the time when I'm out and I'm getting something. I call him to see if he want anything. But you know what I wasn't getting? That. You're not calling me to see if I want something. You're not buying me a gift. You're not looking out for me. We didn't do special occasions. I planned stuff. I did this. I did that. I did this. And is it wrong for me to feel neglected? Yeah. And it's not wrong. Nah. No. Yeah, you're wrong. Me, I'm not wrong because I'm looking out for you. And it should be like that. Like, now I won't say, you know what, people, I don't believe in 50-50. In a relationship, it should be 100%. Because what happens is if you're only giving me 50% and I'm giving you 50%, that's why it's not working. But if we giving 100% to one another, then it works. And a lot of people say, yeah, you know, I do my 50. Y'all do my 50 too. Well, that's why y'all mad. Because y'all both doing 50. What about 100?
Where's the other 50 going?
To Suzette around the corner. To Josephine. My daughter hates when I do this. To Kimberly. To Tashana. To Tikiana or wherever. And that's what you went through. He wasn't giving his 100, he was giving his 50 because the other people got the other part.
And that was fine. Just stop coming here.
So
Go
let me tell you,
business.
and that's exactly.
I wasn't mad.
If you giving your 50 and that person's tired of you and you doing your little 50 somewhere else, she is saying or he is saying, can you just go ahead and leave me alone?
Right.
Because you really not helping me. You're not doing nothing. You ain't paying that one bill. You're not doing this, that, and the other.
That's occupying space.
You know, and a lot of people, I remember being so upset when they said, you know, he really wants a kid. You should give him a kid. I said, I really need him to get a job. I really need him to get a job.
I gotta say something.
When she said
kids, right? And I just said it because, again, I work with children and families, and a lot of women, like it wasn't my experience, I only have one daughter, but keeping a woman pregnant is a form of abuse too.
It is.
Right? Because after, I can't tell you how many women was like, I got all of these kids, where am I gonna go? Who's gonna want me? What am I gonna do?
That
how
was
am I gonna work?
Controlling you.
And so, exactly, set you up in such a way, and sometimes men will tell you, I mean, I heard that ain't nobody gonna deal with you, ain't nobody gonna want you, ain't nobody you so difficult, you so challenging, you so boozy, you want to, and they keep saying these things, and then before long you take it on like it's you. Like, it's your story, and it's not, it's their story, it's their way of manipulating. So what I'm saying is, I love the babies. I love the babies.
There's nothing wrong.
I love the babies,
We're
but
being
don't,
fruitful.
right, exactly, but don't make what you can't take care of, like on your own, right? Because sometimes it's a setup.
And women, it is.
And we do it too, yep.
Because you having them babies. Go to the doctor, get a birth control. You're like, I don't want to be pregnant, but you got pregnant. So don't say, I got pregnant. Like, he got me pregnant. No, you got pregnant with him because y'all got together and y'all did that.
She did that again.
Y'all did that together.
Are you going to X that out?
No.
I did that.
Because I really want to say the other word. You screwing your whole life up.
Right.
I
But
am
it's like
very
they take
proud of my
responsible.
children. I didn't have children with him, but I had my own kids. And, you know, when people be like, oh, did you have children together? No, and thank goodness we did not. Because that would have been a whole nother level, and I would have never been able to be not around him because he raped me. He did this to me. I became verbal to say, I'm dealing with issues with him. But I went through certain things, and I felt like, thank God I had no kid with him because, you know, let me tell you something. When people crazy, and I'm not trying to put this man down, but when people crazy, your child crazy too. It's something.
It's genetic. It shows up in the genes. I don't know if there's a science around it, but I know that my mom used to say, be careful who you lay down with and who you mate with and create life with. Because you're taking on a whole history that you don't even know about, right? I'm just saying.
And I was grateful. I did not have children with that man. You know, I was talking about, you know, I got my twist time, maybe I could do it with because maybe that'll make it happy. And he was like, I want to hear it. And I was like, okay, so we got to get our money together. He said, let's do it with Medicaid. I said, Medicaid tied them, they not going to untie them. This don't make no sense. I'm wrong. So I had
that was God. I'm just saying.
He told me to go tie those tubes. When I talked to that lady said, you might want kids one day. And I did not want kids. What I was doing was I was trying to satisfy him. I already had 3 kids. And they was like, my daughter was already like, she was graduating from high school. My son was in junior high school, and the younger one was in elementary, and he was big. It was like, had kids. But we discussed this before we got married. He didn't want no kids. He was like, I just want to be with you. Oh, okay. So we get married. We're gonna be happy. And I felt like we were gonna do stuff together. So when I wanted to plan stuff out, we had a honeymoon. I had plans with a honeymoon. I kept saying, what we gotta do is put money towards the things, just the information, the reference number, everything. So it was just crazy, you know. So now it's like, when I saw, he didn't pay money, he didn't pay for photography, we had a bootleg photographer.
You took care of everything.
Everything. But when I look at the video to our wedding, I'm never upset. You know what I saw? People coming together, having a good time. And it gave me life. When he left, I said, that was my wedding. That was my wedding. And every time I felt, you know, people, because some of my people from my church was cool. You know, they didn't say nothing to me about it. But they would inquire like, oh, did you talk to him? No, I don't speak to him. And I prefer not to hear from him. Oh, you know, but keep him in prayer. No, I will not. I will not. And that was my part. That was me. That was wrong. Keep the person in prayer. But I felt I'm not praying for that person because they did not pray for me. When I was in pain, they didn't pray for me. They made me feel like this. I felt so full of life when they were gone that I knew I made the right decision. Go. Calling the cops was an option for me. I called the cops. When he was calling me to get in contact with me for us to be together again, I said, let's do therapy. I made him do the therapy sessions. In those therapy sessions, I was still exiting, but I wanted him to have therapy to know what he did wrong. Not for me. So when people said pray for him, I don't need to. I did what I was supposed to do as a wife. You need to know you have a problem. I don't. Oh, you don't wear lingerie. For what? Because you're doing it to me when I'm sleeping and unconscious. So it's like, why would I satisfy somebody with lingerie on? You didn't care if I had lingerie on when I was sleeping. You'd take pictures of me. Like literally just sleeping He's moving your body around. I saw them pictures in his phone. It was devastating. I went to go look for a photo. It was like, did you take pictures? And he would laugh and say no. So one day I said, I'm gonna go look in his phone, and it was like hidden somewhere else. And it was like, you do take pictures of me. That's rape. That's rape. You're taking something that I didn't offer you up. I didn't give it to you. Just because you're my husband didn't mean to go take it. These are things that people go through. And I'm sorry to say, but my story may sound worse than hers, but it's no case of a worse scenario. Everybody, abuse is abuse. And what I can't deal with, I can't deal with. The woman that he left me to go be with, she went through that same thing. The same thing with being attacked. He ended up, she started looking like I was looking when he was with me. Drained out, tired, taking these pictures, you look horrible.
He was the infection. He was the infection. He
Yeah.
had the problem. He had some stuff.
She knew it wasn't going nowhere. And even when she was attacking me, I said, let me tell you something what I learned. Stop opening these doors for these people that want to take something from you, and you giving them you and your whole life, and you sharing and thinking you teaching them something. You're not teaching them nothing. You're teaching them how to abuse you. You have to learn that sometimes it is you. Because we went through the abuse, but even with yourself, it's not your fault, but you have to take some responsibility. At some point, you should have left. So you can't beat yourself up about it, but you can voice it to someone else. Don't wait too long. Move forward. So we're going to end this.
Right, I got one more.
She got one more.
Because I be holding it.
Yeah.
So, and because this is important, right? So I didn't give my story in detail, but like you said, abuse is abuse, right? Domestic violence is domestic violence. And when you talked about your daughter speaking to you, my daughter was maybe 5. She's 25 now. And he and I was having an exchange because I argued. So, and she came out of the room, like he left or whatever, and she was like, Mommy, if you just be quiet, if you don't say nothing, then it'll be better.
No.
And it was in that moment I knew I had to go. So I say that to say
you was
that
like, wait a minute, I
sometimes
want
we
my
don't
child
know,
to be like that.
right? Sometimes it comes straight out the mouth of babes, right? Like for me, my ego, my pride, I ain't got to deal with this. I'm gonna work it like this, that, and the other. But it was when my daughter said to me, like in that moment, I got it that she had it that I was the problem. She saw me as the problem. So if I do something different, then it would be okay. And that's why I left.
No, mine
Because
was
she had
very,
to know. She had to know that it wasn't me, and that when you're not being treated the way you want to be treated, you don't be quiet. You don't allow it, thinking that it's going to go away. You got to stand for yourself.
You do.
And in standing for yourself, that means you loving yourself. And so even like
self-love,
and we're not taught that.
motivation.
And it's not how we keeping our hair and beating our face and dressing ourselves. Like loving ourselves starts on the inside. It starts on the inside. And like when I was doing that work with women, and even outside of the work, because like you said, you're in the street and you like once you're like in a survivor, but you can almost see it in another person. Like it's like this look of like almost despair and hopelessness. And what I would say to people at random is like, you do.
Right.
I remind them they're beautiful.
And
you know what, God loves you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you ain't got to settle for that.
Yeah.
You got choices. I would just drop it and keep it moving. Never see these people again.
Attitude. Your hair is so pretty. She could look like the worst face ever. She could look like this. Your hair is so pretty. Look at you. I love that blouse. You look very nice. It's not fakeness. People be like, oh, she fake. No, I'm not being fake. I think I need to tell you that you look nice. I think that you do look nice.
Wait, is this a black woman thing? Because we don't do enough of that to each other. Like, why not? If you look fabulous, say you look fabulous. But I'm just saying it makes a difference. Because when you're in those, you don't hear enough of I love yous and you're beautiful and you're awesome and you can have anything and do anything and be anything. You get in all of that other stuff. So it don't have to be a dialogue. It's just something, just leave it right there.
Yeah.
So,
And it's
that's all I got.
You're right. It just happened. That's not what she got. She always got me.
That's all I got. I promise.
Okay, so we're going to end it because me and her can talk forever. But I hope this video helps someone that is in trouble or that, we're dealing with some dating issues because we talked about a lot of female stuff. And, I hope it helps a guy. Or men. I hope it helps.
You need to bring back a guy and have a Because we all want to know what they
Who
think.
wants to come on to the show as a male and talk about these situations? Don't be afraid. You know, it's me, Shay with a new day. So, we're gonna end. Where can they find you? Do you want anyone to find you?
Not yet.
She said that.
They can
What if
contact
they
you.
need advice?
They can contact you, and then you can contact me because I am up to stuff.
So,
like I'm
okay.
creating a foundation. I'm creating my glass consulting to really make a difference with organizations and women, in particular professional women.
So if you
it's
would
more
like
to
to be
come.
on her list, email me at Shay with a New Day.
Oh,
She
one more
got
thing.
one thing.
And inside of my foundation, right? So I just want to say it really quick. Like, my dad was killed in Bed-Stuy, so
from Bed-Stuy, that's right.
And he was killed at 19 years old. So I grew up without my dad. I was 3 when he passed on. And so when I was going through all of this, discovering who I am, I really got more connected to my father. Because when he died, I mean, I was still around the family. I don't want to give the long extended version, but what I'm saying is I grew up with my mother's side of the family. And so somehow it just became this distant thing because he's been gone for so long, and I got really present to I wouldn't be who I am and where I'm at if it had not been for him. So I created a whole foundation specifically to men of color, men of African descent from 18 to 24 years old. And what I am doing a shout out for is I'm really looking to partner with organizations who actually work with young men who can actually qualify for these scholarships that I want to provide. Also create a space for them to come in because it's enough about working for people. Like I really want to create a space for our men to really get what it means to be an entrepreneur and have their own. So if you have a business and you're willing to like share your space and teach another, hit Shalanda up to hit me up so that we can make a difference.
She's being no, but definitely hit me up because I definitely love that.
There's God and then there's man, right? And they are leaving us way too
And what's
soon.
best for people to team up to make the dream work.
Thanks for tuning in to Shay with a New Day.
Bye.
Brought to you by Shay with a New Day Productions. Hi, my name is Shalanda B, and I am a domestic violence survivor. I have broken my silence, and so can you.